All right, let's dive deep into the latest moves from the San Francisco 49ers as they gear up for training camp. The team has been very active lately, signing to new players just before camp practice began. It's been a whirlwind of roster changes, and the buzz around the facility in Santa Clara is palpable. Yesterday, rumors were swirling after the team worked out a slew of free agents, including multiple running backs and wide receivers, and now those workouts have turned into official signings. This is exactly the kind of inside scoop that gets fans excited as the team looks to build depth and competition ahead of the season. One of the signings is wide receiver Isabella, a player who's been on the radar since his college days at UMass. Isabella's path to the NFL has been a bit unconventional. Coming out of college, he was a standout with back-to-back seasons of over 10,000 yards receiving, an impressive feat that certainly caught the attention of NFL scouts. Despite being undersized at 5 feet 8 inches and weighing less than 190 pounds, his speed is what really sets him apart. At the NFL Combine, Isabella turned heads with a blistering 40-yard dash clocked at 4.31 seconds, marking him as one of the fastest players in that draft class. He was taken in the second round of the 2019 draft, 30 picks into that round, thanks largely to that speed in his college production. But the transition from college star to NFL contributor hasn't been seamless. Isabella's lack of size and route-running polish has made it difficult for him to stick with the team. His early years with the Arizona Cardinals showed flashes of potential, including a spectacular 88-yard touchdown catch. But overall, he struggled to find a consistent role. The Cardinals used him sparingly, often trying to get him involved on bubble screens or jet sweeps. But he rarely saw the ball in a way that maximized his speed and playmaking ability. He moved on to brief stints with the Baltimore Ravens and Buffalo Bills, but never secured a long-term spot on an active roster. Now, with the 49ers, Isabella enters a wide receiver group that has been in flux throughout training camp. Injuries, contract disputes, and inconsistent performances have left San Francisco searching for reliable depth. Veterans like Brandon Ayuk are limited in practice due to injuries. Jawan Jennings is sidelined with a calf problem, and other players face their own setbacks or questions about availability. This makes the addition of a player like Isabella intriguing. His speed could give the offense a different look, especially if the coaching staff finds creative ways to get him the ball in space, where he can make plays, even if he doesn't make the final roster. His presence during camp is valuable as a competitive piece that pushes the rest of the receivers to raise their level. On the running back side, the 49ers also brought in Ameer, a veteran with nearly a decade of NFL experience. Abdullah has always been considered a reliable, low-maintenance player who brings versatility to the table. He stands about 5 feet 9 inches tall, just a bit bigger than Isabella, and weighs just over 100 pounds, giving him a solid frame for the bruising style of play required in the backfield. One of the reasons he stuck around so long in the league is his ability to catch passes out of the backfield and provide solid blocking, traits that Kyle Shanahan values highly in his running backs. Abdullah also offers kick return skills, which adds an important dimension to his value, especially on special teams where every edge counts. Looking at Abdullah's recent history, he spent the past 3 seasons with the Las Vegas Raiders, contributing mainly as a backup but managing to rack up over 300 rushing yards and a couple of touchdowns last year. The Raiders' decision not to bring him back came after they invested a top 10 draft pick in Ashton Gentry, signaling a shift to a younger, feature back. Abdullah's steady production and ability to fill multiple roles, though, make him a strong candidate to compete for a roster spot in San Francisco. While he probably won't be the featured back behind Christian McCaffrey, his presence adds depth and experience, and his blocking and catching abilities fit well with the Shanahan offense's emphasis on versatility. The 49ers running back room is already well stocked, with McCaffrey looking like the dominant player he was in 2023, when he won Offensive Player of the Year. Isaac Yiadom has flashed as a promising runner with size and speed, and the team also has fullback Kyle Juszczyk, whose blocking and versatility remain key. Rookie Jordan James, a 5th-round pick out of Oregon, was off to a strong start in camp before a minor injury slowed him down. But the team believes that injury is not serious. With the departure of Israel Abanikanda, adding a veteran like Abdullah makes even more sense to keep competition high and maintain depth in the backfield. Interestingly, the 49ers decided not to bring back Jeff Wilson, a former undrafted free agent who led the team in rushing back in 2020 and had a solid run through 2022. Wilson was traded to the Miami Dolphins after San Francisco acquired Christian McCaffrey. And while he performed well there, injuries have hampered his recent production. His absence opens the door for new players like Abdullah to make their mark. This is the kind of roster building that often flies under the radar, but can have a significant impact on a team's performance in the preseason and beyond. Depth, competition, and special teams contributions are crucial in shaping a successful campaign, and the 49ers seem intent on using training camp to push their players to the limit. It's not just about the stars on the field, but also the depth players, who might not start on opening day but can become key contributors through their versatility and reliability. As the roster takes shape, it will be fascinating to see how these new additions fit into the team's plans. The combination of Isabella's speed and Abdullah's experience gives San Francisco some interesting options to explore, both on offense and special teams. Training camp is always a chess match, with coaches juggling injuries, performance, and roster spots. And these moves suggest the 49ers are not settling. They are actively searching for the best talent to round out their squad. The pressure is high, the competition intense, and every practice counts as players fight for a chance to make the final roster. Fans watching can expect some exciting plays in preseason games as these players try to showcase what they bring to the team. The addition of veterans who have seen significant NFL action adds a layer of professionalism and grit that can help younger players develop and elevate the entire squad. With the final day of July marking these signings, it feels like the countdown to camp's real kickoff is reaching a fever pitch. The 49ers are clearly laying the groundwork for what they hope will be a successful season, bolstered by these strategic moves to add speed, depth, and experience. The focus now shifts to how these new players perform in practice and preseason games, and whether they can carve out a role in a team that has high expectations. Stay tuned as the story unfolds, because roster battles like these can produce surprising outcomes. Players who arrive as long shots sometimes become crucial contributors, and veterans with something to prove often raise their game when the stakes are highest. For the 49ers, this period is all about preparation, adjustment, and competition, and these signings highlight the team's commitment to staying competitive at every position. As the San Francisco 49ers continue to fine-tune their roster, the atmosphere at the practice facility has become increasingly charged with anticipation. Training camp is a time of transformation, a period when raw talent is tested against seasoned experience, and when every player's future with the team hangs in the balance. This year, more than ever, the pressure is palpable. The organization, fans, and media alike have their eyes glued to the field, watching every snap, every drill, every interaction. The addition of Isabella and Ameer Abdullah not only reflects the team's immediate need for depth, but also signals a broader strategic approach that embraces competition and versatility as core tenets of their roster philosophy. Isabella's arrival is particularly intriguing given his history. The narrative surrounding him is one of untapped potential and resilience. He has shown flashes of brilliance, but has yet to find a lasting foothold in the NFL. For the 49ers, he represents a low-risk, high-upside gamble. His speed is elite, and in an offense led by Kyle Shanahan, where space creation and timing roots are paramount, a player like Isabella could thrive if given the right opportunities. Shanahan's system is known for its complexity, often requiring receivers to master precise route trees and understand blocking schemes for running plays. This system has made stars out of players who might otherwise be overlooked, and Isabella could be next in line if he can master these elements. His performance in camp will be under a microscope, but his skill set aligns well with what the coaching staff seeks in a receiver who can stretch the field and open lanes for other playmakers. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors have begun to swirl across the NFL landscape following an unexpected and electrifying event at the San Francisco 49ers headquarters, the surprise arrival of none other than T.J. Watt, the Pittsburgh Steelers superstar linebacker. Onlookers reported that Watt touched down at the 49ers facility in Santa Clara and was greeted not with the low-key discretion typical of a player visit, but with what can only be described as a celebratory reception, banners, cheering staff members, and flashes from local media cameras created a scene that resembled more of a welcome parade than a casual off-season visit. Though the team has made no official statement, speculation erupted online within minutes. Was this a simple friendly visit, or could this signal a seismic shift in the NFL power balance? Watt's appearance has naturally sparked whispers of a potential blockbuster trade or perhaps free agency maneuvering few had seen coming. With the 49ers already boasting a formidable defense, the mere idea of adding a player of Watt's caliber has fans and analysts alike questioning what's truly unfolding behind closed doors. No confirmations have been issued, but this surprising turn of events has everyone asking, could T.J. Watt really be eyeing a move to the Bay Area? Speculation continues to build following Watt's arrival, especially considering the context surrounding his current situation in Pittsburgh. Entering the final years of his contract, Watt has yet to firmly commit to an extension with the Steelers, leading some insiders to suggest that both player and team could be open to exploring new directions. The 49ers, meanwhile, are known for their aggressive front office, unafraid to make bold moves in pursuit of a Super Bowl title. They've already invested heavily in defense, but recent injuries and roster turnover may have prompted leadership to consider further reinforcement. Watt, a former Defensive Player of the Year, would not only add pass rushing firepower, but also veteran leadership to a team already stacked with talent. There is, of course, no official comment from Watt himself, but the optics of his visit raise eyebrows. Was this simply a tour, a meeting, or something far more consequential? The NFL is no stranger to off-season surprises, and this one may just be the beginning. Watt's presence in Santa Clara is far from ordinary, and for a player of his stature, every public step is often calculated. If this visit was casual, the fanfare certainly didn't suggest it. The atmosphere at the 49ers complex during Watt's arrival added fuel to the already burning fire of speculation. According to multiple eyewitness accounts, employees and local media had been tipped off about a special guest, and the scene quickly turned into a full-blown celebration. Chants, camera crews, and even appearances by a few current 49ers players suggested that Watt's presence was not only anticipated, but welcomed with open arms. While team representatives remain tight-lipped, several NFL insiders have noted the increasingly warm relationship between Watt's camp and the 49ers front office. Could these connections be laying the groundwork for a major deal? It wouldn't be the first time the 49ers made an aggressive push for a high-profile defender, and adding Watt could serve as a game-changing move ahead of a critical season. Importantly, no information has emerged regarding contractual negotiations or trade talks. But the optics cannot be ignored. Watt did not arrive with anonymity. He came to fanfare and celebration, a reception reserved only for those with significance. If nothing else, this suggests the 49ers are sending a clear message either to Watt, to their fans, or to the league. Something big could be brewing among fans. The reaction to Watt's presence has been nothing short of euphoric. Social media lit up within minutes of the first photo surfacing, with 49ers faithful already imagining a defensive front featuring Nick Bosa and T.J. Watt, two of the league's most dominant edge rushers. Even the most skeptical observers acknowledged that this wasn't an ordinary off-season encounter. The timing is also notable, as training camp looms and front offices often make last-minute moves to finalize their rosters. Watt has long been the cornerstone of Pittsburgh's defense, but recent comments from Steelers insiders suggest the team may be preparing for a shift toward youth, potentially freeing up cap space in the process. Could San Francisco be the landing spot? The logistics of a trade are daunting but not impossible, especially if both sides are motivated. Watt, still in peak physical condition, has much to offer any Super Bowl contending roster. His leadership, work ethic, and game-changing plays could be the missing piece in the 49ers championship puzzle. While it's still premature to call this more than a high-profile visit, the whispers continue to grow louder, and all eyes are now fixed on the Bay Area to see what unfolds next. From a strategic perspective, the potential acquisition of T.J. Watt would represent more than just a talent upgrade. It would be a psychological win as well. The 49ers have built a reputation for tough, relentless defense, but adding Watt would send a bold message to the rest of the league. They are not content with being contenders. They aim to dominate. The ripple effects of such a move would extend beyond the field. It could influence future free agents, shake up NFC playoff projections, and even alter Pittsburgh's long-term plans. For Watt, joining a team on the cusp of Super Bowl glory could be a career-defining decision, especially if he's seeking new challenges after years of carrying the Steelers' defense. Some insiders speculate that his visit may have included meetings with coaching staff and team executives, though this remains unconfirmed, as with many NFL rumors. This one could fizzle just as quickly as it flared, but for now, the energy surrounding Watt's arrival in Santa Clara is undeniable. Whether it was a symbolic gesture, an exploratory meeting, or the first domino of a blockbuster trade, one thing is clear: the NFL world is watching. And the story is far from over. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.